News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Lisa Mateo.
And Lisa, these major moves in global markets follow Israel's waves of attacks overnight against Iran's nuclear program, targeting nuclear scientists and generals, killing a number of high-ranking military officials in Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the airstrikes in a message overnight.
Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strikes will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said he declared a state of emergency after what he described as a preemptive strike against Iran.
Well, now, Nathan, comes a response from Iran. Israel says Iran has launched over 100 drones toward Israel and that their air defense systems are responding. In a televised address, Iran's armed forces spokesperson said Israel and the U.S. will receive a, quote, harsh blow. Tehran University professor Mohammad Marandi says Iran has no other option.
The only way forward is to make sure that the Israeli regime regrets attacking Iran, Iranians, and infrastructure that is legitimate and which is monitored regularly by the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Professor Mohammad Marandi at Tehran University. Iranian state media say the strikes killed the head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and the military's chief of staff. Israel's defense minister says most of the Guards Corps Air Force senior command was killed in a strike on their underground bunker.
Elisa, hours before the attack, President Trump said he hoped Israel would not strike Iran.
Well, I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like it's something that could very well happen. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary.
And this morning in a social media post, President Trump wrote, quote, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal, but he said they couldn't get it done. He says he told them it would be much worse than anything they know. He added that Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left. In his words, quote, there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end, end quote.
Well, reaction around the world, Nathan, pouring into this escalation in Middle East tensions. Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, Wesley Clark, says Israel has forced America's hand.
President Trump does not want a war, he said that, but also he does not want Iran to have nuclear weapons. So I think Prime Minister Netanyahu has taken the decision away from President Trump at this point.
Retired General Wesley Clark speaking to Bloomberg overnight. Now, the strikes by Israel come after the U.S. ordered some staff to leave its embassy in Baghdad and authorized families of military service members to move out of the Middle East.
And Lisa, we are seeing immediate major moves in the markets following the attacks. At one point, oil surged 13%. Right now, it is up nearly 9%. Defense stocks on the move this morning as well. Shares of Lockheed Martin up more than 4%. Northrop Grumman's up 2%. And oil-related stocks are rising as well. Halliburton, ConocoPhillips, Schlumberger, all up at least 4%.
Well, while we continue to monitor the situation in the Middle East and the markets, let's move now to the latest on the anti-deportation protests in Los Angeles. The situation in L.A. a bit calmer now. This is after 3 nights of curfews in the downtown area where demonstrators had clashed with police. Last night, California Governor Gavin Newsom touted a legal victory in his fight with President Trump over National Guard deployments in the city.
The National Guard will come back under my authority by noon tomorrow.
That comment from Governor Gavin Newsom may have come too soon, though. Now a federal appeals court is putting that judge's order on hold and allowing the Trump administration to keep using the military to deal with the protests. Another hearing on the case has been scheduled for Tuesday.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
I'm Lisa Mateo, and this is Bloomberg.